Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom, this beautiful path where we get to set ourselves free from the small, the limited, from that which no longer serves, so that we may once again set ourselves free to be in ever-expanding love and joy and harmony, be in a continuous space of allowing for the next great and grand expression and version of whom we are to emerge. That is what this path is all about. That is what we're setting ourselves free from and to be. So welcome. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and I'm very, very happy, and I'm very, very grateful that you're choosing to tune in and that you're choosing to join me in a moment of expanding our consciousness, in a moment of raising our vibration, in a moment of setting ourselves free. So today's topic is a passage, it's a quote that goes, "You are my beloved, and in you I am well pleased." And this is a Christian quote. It's from scripture, but I love it. I have nothing against the Bible. I have nothing against religion at all, any religion. I'm not of any religion, and this path is not religious, it is spiritual. But I find this quote to be so powerful. However, to some individuals who may have been going to Christian churches, this particular quote can be a little bit difficult, a little bit of a challenge. It's like blaspheming God and putting ourselves on high horses, thinking that we're all that, to say that God loves us unconditionally. So and I was actually having a conversation with an individual a few days ago where this quote came up, and this individual gave voice to resistance. Not that they didn't want to feel that this was true, but they just couldn't feel that this was true because this went against everything that they had been taught. And so I want to have a moment of exploring this quote to unleash and unlock the power, the freeing power in these beautiful words. Now, I don't know the full story as to where this quote comes from, and it doesn't really matter, but the quote once again is, "You are my beloved, and in you I'm well pleased." And supposedly, I don't know if it was Jesus who said, "I am God's beloved, and in me God is well pleased," or if it was God who said to Jesus, "You are my beloved, and in you I'm well pleased." Regardless, so what this quote, what these beautiful words point to, is the unconditional love that spirit is. And we don't have to use the words God, we don't have to use the word spirit, we don't have to use any words that we're not uncomfortable with. I'm choosing and I'm leaning into using the words God and spirit. But if you feel more comfortable using the word universe, or the words higher power, or infinite love, or life with a capital L, or energy, or something else, I mean, whatever we call it, whatever we call it, it does not care. So we can call it whatever we want to call it. But this that we are referring to, which we're speaking to, it is all that there is. It is this loving presence that is all of creation, that is every single leaf, it is every single raindrop, it is every single grain of sand, it is every hair, it is every deer, it is every fiber, it is every strand of hair on our bodies, it is every nail, every cell, every molecule in all of creation. It is the stillness, it is the silence, it is every noise, it is every word, every song. It is all that there is, infinite, eternal, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniactive, all of these. So So it is never out there. It is never out there, but it is all that there is. And obviously, as it is all there is, it means that we are one with it. We are unique, perfect, whole, and complete emanations of the one. The thing is, many of us are moving through life. We do not come into this world this way, but we are being told stories and beliefs, and we've been telling ourselves stories and beliefs about not being enough. So we're moving through life with the sense of not being enough. I am not good enough. I am not worthy of being loved, or I'm not worthy of being healthy, or I'm not worthy of being in abundance, having enough money, or whatever the case may be. And this is where this beautiful quote comes in, because it frees us from these limitations, from these limited thought patterns. So when we come into an understanding that all there is, the God, life, spirit, the higher power, that we are its beloved, and in us it is well pleased, regardless of what we have done, regardless of where we are, regardless of our last name, our skin color, our occupation, or our sexual preferences, or regardless of everything and anything, we are its beloved. And in us, as we are in this very moment, in every single moment, this loving presence is well pleased, meaning we don't need to prove anything. We don't ever need to deserve anything. We don't ever need to qualify for anything. Yes, I know that we're living in a society where having titles and having accolades, and where so many of us are striving and working so hard to get credit, to be acknowledged, to be seen, to be heard, all of that. And this is on the human level. But on the spiritual level, we're already all that we are. We're already all that we are. We're already all that we need to be. Just like a rose does not ever need to prove its worth. It does not ever need to deserve being provided for. Or a chick that has just been hatched, it is perfect the way it is. A human baby coming into this world, it knows, not intellectually, but it intuitively knows its worth. It is not trying to be anything other than what it is. It is not trying to play roles. It is not trying to manipulate. It is not trying to do anything, to get anything from the world. But it is in tune with the unconditional love that God is, that Spirit is. It is so at peace with itself as it is. It may have birthmarks, it may be a little chubby, it may be cross-eyed, it may be whatever. But it is so at peace with what it is, because it knows. It knows what God knows. It knows what Spirit knows. That it is all right, that it is enough. So coming back to us being, what was the quote? The quote is, coming back to us being God's beloved. Coming back to God being very, very pleased with us as we are. So we can begin to, when we come into an understanding that this is the truth, this is not up for debate, this is not subject to change. And if we don't believe it, all we need to do, once again, as I love to do, is look at nature. And we can look at the sun. Now, what is the sun doing? Well, the sun shines on the just and the unjust. It shines on me as much as it shines on you. It shines on every single living being, unless we're hiding from it, unless we're covering under a sheet or an umbrella or in our house or in the shade or something. But for those of us who step into the sunlight, the sun does not for one instant discern between us, but it gives and it shares of its sunlight, of its warmth, of its luminosity equally. And so it is with God. Actually, the sun is a beautiful expression of God, a unique, perfect, whole, complete emanation of the One. And as it says somewhere, that God's eye is too pure to behold iniquity. There is no difference. There is no distinction in spirit. There is only unconditional love, like a rain cloud. And when the rain falls, it doesn't differentiate between a rich being and a poor being. It does not differentiate between someone with a dark skin and someone with a light skin. It doesn't discern and make a distinction between someone with one kind of sexual orientation and someone else with a different kind of sexual orientation. It doesn't care at all about our religious belongings or preferences. But the rain just rains on everything. Once again, we are God's beloved, and in God, we are well pleased. You are God's beloved. You, in God, are well pleased. I am God's beloved, and in me, God is well pleased. Always, 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 forever. And this is something that we all, as we're moving along this path, this is something that we all, at one point or another, comes face to face with. Our sense of not being enough, our sense of self-worth, our sense of self-love. And I absolutely love this quote. I absolutely love it because it so beautifully points us to the truth. That regardless of who we are, what we look like, what we've done, we don't need to prove anything. We don't need to make anything happen any more than the lily on the field, because it spins not, it toils not, it struggles not, it efforts not, and yet it is so beautifully provided for. Just like the lilacs in our garden, in my garden, they are doing nothing but just being there. Oh, and I'm reminded of that song from, or that line from Pink's song, Cover Me in Sunshine, where she sings that the wildflowers, they keep on living while they're just standing there. The wildflowers, they keep on living while they're just standing there because they know that they are enough. Just like the lilacs know that they are enough. Just like the grass know that it is enough. Just like the ocean knows that it is enough. Just like the plant, all of the plant kingdom knows that it is enough. Why don't we take on that feeling tone that we are enough? Actually, that is the invitation for us to take on the feeling tone that we are enough. Not because of our achievements, not because of how we perform, but simply because we are. Simply because we are. And what is it that we are? We are a unique, perfect, whole, complete expression of Spirit. Now, we're not gonna be complete. We're not gonna be whole. We didn't used to be whole and now we're not. But we are a unique, perfect, whole, and complete expression of God. Now, always, forever. So the invitation is for us to turn our attention towards how we feel about ourselves. to be honest about thoughts and habits that maybe speak of us not being enough, not good enough, not worthy enough, not good enough, not pretty enough, not good looking enough, not rich enough, not skinny enough, or too whatever. And if we discover that we may need to do some work around self-love, I invite you to use this beautiful quote. Like, say it 10 times. The very last thing you say. I know I have this evening routine. But even after that, even having gone through the evening routine, the very last thing that we say to ourselves, that we think to ourselves before we fall asleep, to repeat to ourselves 10 times, I am God's beloved, in me God is well pleased. And to allow that to be the very first thing that we think when we wake up in the morning. The very first thing, even before we pick up our phone and look at whatever it is that we're looking at. Even before we open our eyes, let's invite that beautiful quote, I am God's beloved, in me God is well pleased, and repeat it to ourselves, to say it to ourselves 10 times. And obviously all through the day. Just see what happens. Just see what happens. It is such enormous power in these words. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always, for participating. Until we meet again, I bless your day. Bless your way, knowing that you are God's beloved, and in you, now, always, forever, God is well pleased. Much love, many blessings. Namaste.